Right, now it is time to cross the Atlantic and then go all the way across America as well, all the way to the West Coast to talk to our brilliant royal guru, Kinsey Schofield. Hi, Kins.
Hey, Kev, congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, folks, Kinsey is very kindly showcasing the fact that I was honoured today at Wireless Broadcasting, which is News UK's broadcasting unit here in Britain and in Ireland. A number of, we're not just Talk, we're Talk Sport, we're Virgin, we have stations over in Ireland, lots and lots of stations. And I won an award. No, actually, nobody came close to touching me in this category. It was Blooper of the Year, the biggest screw-up on air of the year. So I won. Actually, nobody can ever touch me in that area. I am the best. I'm the best. This was the one, I don't know if any of you remember, when my tooth fell out while I was talking to Jeremy Kyle. So thank you very much, Kinsey. I'm honoured to have my real talents recognised. My real talent is...
I would argue that it was recovery because you handled it so well. If you had somebody not clipped that, and I'm not going to name names, we would have never known. But you handled it so well, Kev, so it should have been best recovery of the year. Yeah,
it was quite good. What happened was it was falling out, and I mustn't talk about this for too much longer, but I caught this tooth. It's a veneer, actually, with my tongue. I managed to get it back in and then started talking again. But these are things you don't want to do when you're on live TV. So there you are. But I'm on live TV with you now, and I couldn't be happier, Kins, because we got a lot to get through. Well, I thought this was very interesting, that The Cut magazine, American sort of upscale magazine, part of the New York magazine empire, which used to be a big fan of Harry and Meghan, used to be a big praiser of Harry and Meghan. They've now rounded on the gruesome twosome and said that their projects, particularly Meghan's projects, just keep on flopping. So therefore, you've got another magazine that used to support them has run out of rope. It just says, we can't keep doing this. We've got to tell it like it is. And what the real story is with Meghan and Harry is all their projects flop. Have they ever had... I mean, OK, we'll give Harry the Invictus Games, but that was going a long time before Meghan was on the scene. Apart from that, have these two actually even succeeded on anything?
I would argue anything you see them legitimately awarded something for, like Travelist in Time or Prince Harry's Pat Tillman Award. These are, you'll notice that they are campaigns that were started under the British royal family umbrella, that someone else, helped create. Someone else helped make that come to fruition. Someone else laid out the blueprint for those. These are not entities that started under the Archwell umbrella. Commercially, they would tell you that Harry and Meghan's original Netflix docuseries was a success, but ultimately, is it when your father with cancer is refusing to take your phone calls? Would you deem that a success? Because I don't care how much money's in the bank, I wouldn't. And then they, commercially also Spare was deemed a success, but I do think that it caused huge issues for Prince Harry's credibility and respectability. I mean, he was a punchline in the United States for a solid year after that book. Everything from Todgergate to, losing his virginity in
a field behind a pub. Thanks. Thanks. Too much information, Harry, but thanks.
Exactly. So I'd say that there have been it's like, do you want to contribute to society in a positive way, or do you want to be infamous? I feel like their successes align them more with infamy than align them with anything that is contributing positively towards culture. And remember, they said that they were creating content that was supposed to inspire hope. Well, hopefully we don't have to deal with much of them going forward after Polo. and Meghan Markle's cooking show, which the Daily Mail says might not even ever see the light of day based on how disappointed Netflix has been with Polo. And they would be wasting too many resources, Kev, if they totally canned Meghan's show. But if they did, I would have the sneaky suspicion that it's because Meghan has too thin of skin to deal with the type of negativity and critical, the critical attacks that could potentially come from her show, because people wouldn't just be attacking her show the way people are attacking Polo. They would be attacking her because it is personality driven, and it's her personality that is driving it. So those, any sort of critical negativity coming her way through her show, she would take incredibly personally.
Yeah. Now, the Cuts piece is written by their entertainment reporter Danielle Cohen. Anyway, the headline on the piece was, on the article was, Harry and Meghan's projects can't stop flopping. And this incorporated, of course, their latest disastrous flop, which is Polo, the 5-part series about that posh horse sport that no one gives a damn about except Harry. Now, this series was not promoted. It wasn't promoted by Harry. It wasn't promoted by Meghan. And probably most significantly was not promoted by Netflix. It just arrived last week. Every critic panned it, just said it was boring. As the Daily Telegraph said here, it's a tedious inside look at posh Polo. It is, I've watched it, it's dreadful. It's terribly tedious. It hasn't really got Harry in it, hasn't really got Meghan in it. It's got a load of sexist South Americans going on about how much they want to win at Polo, as if we could give a damn. It's a disaster. Netflix aren't saying anything, but Harry and Meghan are letting it be known that the problem with this series was that they were not given enough say over the final product. That, in fact, people came in over their heads and turned it into a kind of reality show to try to make it commercial, and they wouldn't have done it like this. Well, conversely, we're hearing that actually they were all over it, that this is their fault, and they're trying to blame someone else again for another of their failures. They're trying to say, oh, it's Netflix's fault, it's not our fault. Well, it is their fault, isn't it?
Yeah. You and I both know that if someone snuck in behind their back and took over control from them, every frame of film they had that included Harry and Meghan would have ended up in that show, because anybody that knows anything about Netflix's arrangement with Harry and Meghan recognizes that Netflix wants Harry and Meghan. They don't think that these two are movers and shakers in the entertainment industry that are going to create the new 90210. They just want Harry and Meghan drama, because Harry and Meghan have proven to be incredibly toxic and attract a lot of drama, whether they are randomly calling people racist or whatever. Harry and Meghan are drama. And so if somebody came in behind Harry and Meghan's back and took over control from them, we would have seen more Harry and Meghan. That way, we would not have ever heard that Netflix was disappointed that there was a lack of Prince Harry and Prince Harry's Polo show, had Netflix been in control of this show ultimately. So I think that that's proof right then and there. Also, the producers come out and said that Harry and Meghan had very much contributed to this show in every way, shape, or form. Whether Meghan Markle was talking about how anyone can enjoy Polo, you just bring a picnic basket and sit on the side, or whatever it is.
Yeah. And you can watch all the horses break their legs. It's wonderful fun. You can watch them die of exhaustion. It's a fantastic sport. Yeah, exactly. It's a very cruel sport, as I'm implying there, or alluding to. It's an absolute fact. It's not very nice to horses, this sport. But that's just one of the many problems with this disastrous show that Netflix don't want to promote, Harry doesn't want to promote, Meghan doesn't want to promote. It is going to die a terrible death. We don't even know now whether or not Netflix, as you say, Kinsey, will show Meghan's already filmed cooking series. We're not sure about this, but we did see an article in the Daily Mail over the weekend that Netflix bosses are apparently, and this is a quote, are exhausted working with Meghan. They've had enough. They've come to the end of their tether. They can't take it anymore. Their Netflix deal is going to die next year, isn't it?
I think it is. Now, the Daily Mail also made the point, which I think is important, that perhaps there could be one-offs. You and I have discussed this, that there could potentially be other, maybe, is there a contract signed, a different contract signed that says Netflix will work with them on the retail arm of American Riviera Orchard? Maybe. But one-offs is, I think, more realistic. If Harry and Meghan were to come to them and say, we have a really great idea, Netflix would listen. But I think that their ego is so out of whack, and we saw this with the Spotify deal, that if Netflix doesn't give them exactly what they want moving forward, they will run to Amazon Prime, who was talking to them before Netflix was, or they will run to Apple Plus, who was talking to them before Netflix was. Now, will Amazon, I've personally seen here in LA, Meghan trying to worm her way closer to Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. So would Jeff Bezos give them the benefit of the doubt and work with them because Meghan has tried to infiltrate their social circles, perhaps? But they have proven through Spotify and Netflix that the return on investment is simply not there. So that is my thing. With Spotify, I know you know this, she could have continued to monetize personally through sponsors, through subscription services. That was a hissy fit. Meghan wasn't getting her way, so she left. And I think that other people recognize that in the business.
I'll be very surprised, Kinsey, if any other big corporation gives them a break, because you know what's going on. I mean, they are toxic in Hollywood now. Tinseltown has written them off, particularly after the Hollywood Reporter's investigation into Meghan's techniques as an employer. Whereby they found, talking to quite a few former and current employees of Archwell, the Gruesome Twosomes charity foundation, that she, reduced grown men to tears, was wont to tantrums, sending emails in the middle of the night, that she was a bullying boss. That's what she's accused of. She, of course, denies it, but the word is out, and I'd be very surprised if anyone else gives them a break. Why would you? Because the thing is, as everyone always said about this couple, they've just given this fascinating interview to Oprah, pouring a bucket all over the royal family. You won't believe what they said. And we all went, oh, my God, this is amazing. Then they made that series, the Harry and Meghan series for Netflix, in which they poured a bucket all over the royal family, and indeed over virtually everyone in Britain. We were all terrible, evil, racist slave drivers. Of course we were. So after that, people said, well, what have they got left? Then he wrote Spare, again, pouring a bucket over his family, over his home country. And what people were saying is, OK, well, this is all quite interesting. But when Harry stops pouring a bucket over his family, over his dad, over his brother, over his sister-in-law, what has he got left? What have these two got left that will work commercially on screen? Turns out the answer is nothing.
Nacho.
Nothing.
Nacho.
Nacho. Nada. Seriously, they've got nothing, have they? They've got nothing.
Yeah, no, it's not impressive whatsoever. So there's a lot of pressure on Meghan's new show. And like I said, I think that there's a lot of fear there that, and you know what? The truth is, Kevin, no matter how successful Meghan's new show is, it's not going to go beyond Netflix's audience. The reach will not be beyond Netflix's audience. It won't be beyond Meghan Markle's existing fan base. So again, I'd argue, where is the return on investment? If they are not reaching new people, I don't see the value, Yeah, no. I don't think they've got anything left in their ideas basket. We heard some of their ideas, let's do Emily in Paris only with a bloke. Don't think you're quite getting the idea of the series there, Meg. Well, Netflix was like, you're stealing someone else's idea.
I've just had a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Woman in the iron mask. What do you think? You just got to reverse the gender of every sort of literary hero. That's their idea of an idea. So they don't have any good ideas, and they've finished pouring a bucket over all their relatives. So it's pretty much over for them, I think. Quick word. We need to talk about Andrew in just a second, Kinsey. But a quick word on Meghan's ethical handbags enterprise. She's invested in this company that is supposed to be very ethical in the way it makes its handbags, but it's not. Tell us that story.
Yeah, so this is the interview. Kevin, Meghan Markle has done more interviews for the Siesta Collective or Collection, this handbag company, and the boho hair company that she's invested in than she's ever done any interviews to promote one single Netflix project. Does that not blow your mind? I mean, anyway, so Meghan did this interview with the New York Times about this ethical, sustainable handbag company that she's invested in. Clearly no due diligence. We're now learning that these women in Rwanda are making like 10 cents an hour or something like absolutely ridiculous that is basically thievery when it boils down to it. The company is arguing, well, no, we're paying them fairly, but there's a big organization that monitors this stuff that came back to the Daily Mail and said, actually, no, they're not paying them fairly. So we'll have to see who is right. Of course, they're defending themselves, but Meghan has got to be more careful when she wants to be an influencer. Okay, that's fine. But you've got to be so careful what you stamp your name on, because ultimately things like this can come back, bite you in the butt, and it's a negative reflection of you, because you can't champion the Time's Up movement and then pay these women pennies to create these bags that sell for 700 pounds a pop.
Yeah, they're getting like 10 cents an hour or something. This is called exploitation. So when she says these are ethically produced handbags, they are nothing of the sort. They're nothing. It's typical Meghan, you know. On the veneer, on the shiny surface, all is wonderful. Scrape away that surface, it's usually a much darker story.
Wait, and before we go to Andrew, can I quickly say they also released their Christmas card today?
Oh, did they? Go on.
Yeah, take a look at the center photo where Meghan and Prince Harry are on their knees reaching for their children. Of course, it's only the back of their children.
Can't see the children, no, of course.
Yeah, not at all. But think back onto that image of Princess Diana desperately reaching for her children remember she's in the houndstooth jacket, the red and white houndstooth jacket. That, yeah. It's so vomit-inducing how much Meghan Markle tries to wear the skin of Princess Diana in absolutely everything she does. But when you look at that Christmas card, think about that photo and think about Meghan Markle reaching for her kids, and tell me that that was not an intentional image that she's trying to portray to continue to force the Princess Diana 2.0 down our throats.
Of course it is, because one thing Meghan doesn't do, she doesn't do natural. Everything is contrived.
Or original, yes.
Yeah, or original. Lousy ideas, American Riviera orchard, never going to happen. It's all a disaster. We'll talk later in the week, but I need to talk to you about what you think the Gruesome Twosome are going to be doing in 2025, because I'm damned if I can work it out, and nor can anyone else. We'll talk about that another time, but let's quickly, before you go, I mean, this story's been unfolding big time over here before our very eyes. We found out today that the Chinese spy stroke businessman who got his tentacles into Prince Andrew, there's a guy called Yang Tengbo, 50-year-old Chinese businessman, says he's not a spy. This country, Britain, has decided in our courts he is a spy, and that he entangled Prince William, managed to get himself invitations to Buckingham Palace twice, to St James's Palace and Windsor Castle, and managed to meet former Prime Ministers David Cameron and Theresa May. This guy got right into the heart of British society, and it's Andrew's fault. Andrew has now been banished, can't go to Sandringham at Christmas to join the other royals for fear of embarrassing them. What can we do about Prince Andrew? Can you have him? Why don't you in America have Prince Andrew? Get him off our hands.
That sounds like a bad rash. I mean, this is like espionage. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Parliament didn't try to strip him of his titles. This could be like the straw that breaks the camel's back, because he wasn't found guilty of doing anything with Virginia Giuffre or Jeffrey Epstein. But I mean, espionage, that's a very serious issue. However, I do agree with Richard. Is it Richard? He's from the other party. I just had this
Richard Tice?
Richard Handsome Tice.
Richard Handsome Tice. That's
Richard
the guy.
Handsome Tice said that he felt like this could potentially be just other people trying to throw him under the bus to distract from the fact that he was around some real heavy hitters in the government. So everybody just point their finger at Prince Andrew to distract from the fact that he was near Theresa May and some of these bigger personalities. I mean, I do think that that's a very fair point. I mean, I'm not Prince Andrew's biggest cheerleader, but I also agree that he has very little sway. This alleged spy was around people that really did have power.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, he's an idiotic oaf, Prince Andrew.
100%, 100%.
And we're used to his stupidity. He was basically, with Epstein, he was just stupid and scroungy, of course. Oh, could you pay off my wife's £15,000 credit card debt? Yeah, OK. You know, he's ill-advised and stupid. This time, his stupidity may have been dangerous to the security of Britain, and he's gone over the top this time. And yes, I feel we have to banish him from the public eye even more than he's already been banished. It really is a mess, and of course, he's not going to Sandringham for Christmas, is he?
No, and that will kill him, because I think that, remember all the glowing headlines about him and Fergie there last year. Yeah. So I do think that this is going to be a blow to the old ego. People already say that he's feeling isolated and depressed. Well, make better decisions, Prince Andrew. Make better decisions. Farmers only. Make nicer friends.
I would say stop being such an idiot, but you can't really say that to idiots because they don't know how to stop being an idiot, do they? Kinsey, great talking to you. We'll talk again very, very soon.